I woke up this morning realizing that today is our parents' wedding anniversary.
But you
I don't know why that hit me. I knew it, of course, but it did. I mean, I usually, most years, I do remember that. 1945, just before the surrender of Germany. Well, a month or so before. Quite optimistic, I'm thinking, tired on, after both of them having had quite a tough war. So, just the little curlicue from history.
Clarification, is this your first time that you're going to debate in the U.S., in Michigan at all?
In Michigan, yes.
Okay. So you've debated before?
Yes, often on C-SPAN, several times on C-SPAN.
Okay.
Quite recently in London, or not in London, Aldershot, right?
Well, yeah, but that was a television program with other people present, and not the same. We haven't done it one versus the other in front of an audience for 9 years,
and never on religion.
Is that the main topic?
I think so.
I think it's going to come up.
If it isn't the main topic, if God isn't the main topic, what is?
I don't know.
Well, you would.
When I return the question,
you would say not.
No, it's the main. Religion is the foundational touch. It's the underlay of all other questions. It's the debate now.
So you don't view this as something that's going to be repetitive because you've done it before. This is.
No, and actually the feeling that I've had very strongly in the last few months while I've known this is going to happen is that probably once we've done this, we won't do it again, because I think that will be enough.
Well, I was asked this question earlier by someone from a newspaper here that said almost the same, which is, if this became a dog and pony show or regular routine, it would soon become inauthentic, despite our own innate seriousness, sincerity, and so forth. It would become showbiz. So we're not going to have a dog and pony show. I wouldn't say I'd never do it again, but I think it should be safe, legal, and rare.
So people coming tonight can expect authenticity if nothing else.
Well, that's a Hitchens guarantee. And seal.
Okay. You guys are brothers. Where did you part? You guys have different views on things. At what point, is there a point you can go look back and pinpoint this is where we started to differ, or is it just a different thought process?
Well, we're different people. Why would we ever have agreed?
I mean,
you don't start. We didn't start from one egg, and we would always disagree. There may have been coincidences from time to time, but just because you're somebody's brother doesn't mean you're the same person. In fact, in some ways, especially if you're younger, you're going to define yourself as not being the other person's brother. I once compared myself to Canada and its relationship with the United States, to which he replied he didn't realize I was relaxed about it as that. But I am.
But the other thing is that I think people don't notice is how many things we agree upon. In particular, I think we both tend to dislike the same sorts of people and the same sorts of mentality, and say the recent past. This is a guess, but I bet I'm right. Use of the word misspeak for lie, or controversial for raging demagogue and thug, would strike us both as an abuse of the political process, trampling on the English language, easy free passes for people who shouldn't be getting them. I would say that without actually checking what Peter has written. I would feel I knew that, in the way that some people are said to know if their twin is having a migraine. Something I've never particularly cared about. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could sort of test his temperature in that way.
Do you guys have any expectations for tonight?
No, it'd be wrong to compose the music of the future.
no, I think that it would be dangerous to try and script it in your mind ahead too much. I would much prefer it to be, I'm trying not to say spontaneous,
Precisely. Another very dread word. To see,
spontaneous demonstration means rehearsed
to mean anything over prepared or affected. The expectation of fratricide, I think, on the part of anyone who has it, will be disappointed. It isn't really. I mean, it's not at all unusual, as Peter was saying, that brothers would be of the same mind or opinion. If we didn't live so much of our lives in print or on the air, people wouldn't notice. There must be many people who have brothers they don't that often see or that much agree with. The Rodham brothers, on the other hand, seem to be absolutely like two peas in a pod. So much so that their sister never gets asked about them. The brothers to whom she can't say no. Hideous Rodham boys. Just free associating.
That's fine.
Seems to me there's more pressure on you in this press conference.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of.
Would you like us to just answer some things you haven't asked, or
You can. Free association's fine. That
I
works.
have questions to ask you as well.
Oh,
We'll pull up a chair.
yeah.
My name is Jeremy Bean, and
Beer.
Bean. It's Irish.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Is it spelled like that?
Well, it's Anglicanized over here, so it would be the whole Brendan Ban.
Yes, Dominic.
Yep. So that's
And
nice
Brian,
history.
yes,
So
right.
I do a podcast called Reasonable Doubts. It's a skeptical podcast. It's aimed at counter-apologetics, and but we try to bring in a lot of dialogue too. One of the things we've been focusing on a lot, and I wanted to ask your impression, because both being from Great Britain, there's been news about Muslim no-go areas, these ghettos, supposedly, where people are becoming more and more isolated culturally and whatnot, and all the issues that relate to free speech. And I was wondering if I could get your comments in regards to what's going on in Europe over free speech laws and hate speech laws that are trying to curtail criticisms of religious faith and expression.
Oh yeah, but you want to go? He lives in Europe.
Yes, there's a lot of, for instance, recently in England, laws were introduced for, I think, religiously aggravated crimes, and I'm trying to remember the exact phrase. The idea being that a crime committed would be worse because it was motivated through faith hate, which is a fundamental departure from the principle of English law, which is that the action is what is being punished.
Right.
In fact, the only time this has come up was a couple of weeks ago over an attack on an Episcopalian rector in East London, which is believed to have been done by Muslim youths, and they called him a rude word attached to the word priest.